There are over 100 million orphan children living in extreme poverty, lacking the basic resources to survive. One of these children was Jean-Claude from Rwanda. At the age of 12, Jean-Claude's parents died, leaving him to care for himself and his two younger brothers. They spent their nights sleeping in an abandoned structure that the community was using as a latrine. For 3 years, Jean-Claude and his brothers survived by begging, until they eventually separated to live in different parts of the city just to find enough food to survive. They were often beaten for stealing food. People called them names and chased them away. They felt more like dogs than human children. Jean-Claude was living a life of fear and exploitation. Without family or community support, he needed a way out, and he found that with Zoe Empowers. Traditional aid programs give a child a fish and feed them for a day, focusing on what they need to survive until they age out of the program. The problem is, once the aid is gone, they still lack the skills necessary to begin providing for themselves, often leading them back into poverty. A group of Rwandan social workers became frustrated with this cycle of relief and dependency and began to meet directly with youth-led households, like Jean-Claude and his brothers, to find a solution. Instead of asking, "What can I do to help you?" they asked, "What would you need in order to stand on your own feet?" Over time, they developed a 3-year community-based empowerment program where orphaned children and vulnerable youth take the lead in their own journey out of poverty. They're not just taught to fish, but are empowered to purchase the pond and help feed their community for generations to come. Here's how it works. A local leader, like a village chief, helps Zoe's indigenous staff identify the most vulnerable children in their community to form an empowerment group of approximately 25 youth-led households. Instead of being given food or housing, Zoe helps the group to make a better life for themselves. Each vulnerable child is now surrounded by others who understand their suffering. Suddenly, they are no longer alone. The peer-led group begins to meet weekly. They decide on a group name, elect leadership, and nominate an adult mentor from their own community. Each family in the group constructs a dream chart where they draw pictures representing both what they have suffered in the past and what they dream for the future. Empowerment groups immediately receive training on health and hygiene and their rights from community members and Zoe staff. Group members then receive business training. Some group members opt to participate in vocational training to be tailors or barbers or carpenters or another trade. Youth can then apply for a business grant from their group to begin simple projects like raising chickens and selling eggs. Participants also work together on a group project like growing bananas or maize. The profits are shared or added to their group bank account for future business loans. With the profits of their hard work, group members are able to buy food and clothing, and Zoe can even help their siblings re-enroll in school. Jean-Claude's big dream was to open his own grocery store. With additional business training, saved up profits, and a loan from his empowerment group, he was able to open a successful store in his community. When his own life and the life of his brothers began to stabilize, he started helping others around his village who were struggling. He shared food and encouragement with others, remembering what it was like to live in desperation. Both Jean-Claude's household, along with the other 24 youth-led families in his group, graduated Zoe's 3-year program with diversified businesses and revolving sources of capital. They even started their own community bank to be used by their group members. Most importantly for Jean-Claude, he was now a respected member of his community. And the best part of graduation? Almost every group continues to meet and cooperate in growing their businesses with other group members. They become like family, with social, economic, and spiritual ties holding them together. Jean-Claude is just one of hundreds of thousands of orphan children and vulnerable youth across Africa and India who have moved from a life of despair to one of hope through the Zoe Empowers program. It is stunning that such a small financial investment can yield generational change in such a powerful way. Banana trees become banana orchards. A tailor shop becomes a sewing training center. Independent research on Zoe's program has confirmed that participants' lives continue to improve for many years beyond Zoe's 3-year program. In the words of one Zoe participant, "We have moved from beggars to bosses." Join us in bringing empowerment to more children looking for a way out of extreme poverty.